Want to welcome everybody to the Grit and Grind Sports Show and Podcast. Well, Daryl, new look. Try
Yeah, we got a
something
new
new.
look, Sean.
Hey, that's what we all about. Grit and grind, reinventing
Hey,
ourselves and trying something different every week.
every week trying something new. So we here, ready to start the show. But before we start the show, Sean, we got some things we got to clean up and talk about from last week.
We do, Daryl. We got a few teams who didn't make it and a few who did make it in.
Yeah.
You want me to go over that list of the ones who didn't make it?
Yeah, we can go ahead and do the official inventory Monday for this week.
And like we always say, Daryl, what do you always say about Inventory Monday? You will end up on this list sooner or later.
Sooner or later. So what we got, Sean?
First team is North Edgecombe, coming off a 6-game win streak. Now they'll be joining us on Inventory Monday. Too much Rosewood.
Yeah, that's way too much Rosewood. We called about that game about Rosewood, and Rosewood showed up.
They showed up. I said North Edgecombe, man. Once again, what did I tell you last week? I'm going to start learning to listen to you sometimes.
And I tried to tell you, Rosewood was a good team and the real deal, and they took care of business last Friday.
Warren County won their first playoff game in 7 years, and they had Northampton. We pretty much saw the writing on the wall. They're just happy to get one.
And looking at that score with Warren County, I honestly, it was 28-0.
Yeah.
And honestly, I thought it was going to be worse than that.
And Northampton, they pulled out the starters and put in the reserves.
Yeah. So it was good for Warren County to make it to the second round. You know, that's what you want to do, build off that momentum into next year.
And that's something to carry into next year.
Yeah.
Next one, the one that shot me and you both, Daryl. Kill Pride lost by 50. That was just ugly.
Didn't see that one coming.
Northeast?
Didn't see that one coming at all.
Didn't see it coming at all.
Yeah.
Another one, Kinston. They stunned Eastern Wayne in the first round, and then they went down to Princeton, and the Bulldogs just gave them too much of a fight.
Yeah, Bulldogs was a little bit too much for Kinston. Bulldogs got two good running backs down there in Princeton, and we're going to be talking about them later in the show. But, yeah, that was just too much for Kinston to overcome. So they are definitely on that Inventory Monday list.
Roanoke Rapids, the Yellow Jackets, right here in our backyard, the Big East 2A Conference Day. Went up and tried to pull off a miracle comeback. But like I always tell me, Daryl, only thing that almost counts in is horseshoes and hand grenades.
That's it. That is it. That's the only thing that counts.
Holmes, they got blew out 50-0, and they're coming home up there in the 1A Torn Up Roanoke. West Craven and Clinton both coming to Inventory Monday too over there in the 2A conferences. In our 3A division, Havelock went up to Eastern Alamance, and you said last week the person you met at the Carolina game said the road to state championship goes through there.
He said Eastern Alamance. That's that 3A championship. He said it's going to come through there. And obviously they was able to win the last game, and now they're in the third round, going to the third round.
And Havelock's on the Inventory Monday.
Inventory Monday for Havelock.
All right, here in our backyard, this one hurts. Southern Nash, the Firebirds, went down to 7, Lee County. Too much.
Offense. That was tough. But we said it last week. If
we've been
Southern Nash does not jump on Lee County early,
it could get ugly.
It's going to be a long game. And that's exactly what it was. And that quarterback for Lee County, I think he only threw for 100 yards in the game, but it was a team effort that put them over to win the game.
I watched a little bit of that game live, and I'm telling you, once they realized that Southern was just going to keep pounding, and this is the blueprint to beat Southern. I hate to say this about Southern because I hate to give away the blueprint, but every team that watches them on tape knows they are committed to the run because that's what they're known for. Mm-hmm. And once they find out they're committed to that run, they load up 8 in the box, and that's all she wrote for Southern.
And that's it. And we talked about that last week, is that when you're in a playoff, you got to have a balanced offense. You have to run the ball and throw the ball. And if you can throw the ball and get 100 yards passing and then another 100 and some yards rushing that Lee County was able to do, that's a balanced offense.
That's a balanced offense.
But if you know first down, second down, third down, it's going to be a run, all you're doing is loading up the box on defense.
And that's what Lee County did.
And unfortunately, that's what they did.
And Southern, welcome to Inventory Monday.
Inventory Monday for Southern Nash.
Another team we weren't expecting over here, right here in our backyard in the Quad City Conference, the Quad City champions. I jumped ship right before we did the show last week, and I said I'm taking Jacksonville.
Yep, you did.
Jacksonville won by a point.
And they won by a point. And I said I thought Hunt's defense was going to be able to lock them down because we talked about that lockdown.
The lockdown defense of Hunt.
And it was just, they just gave up too much early on.
And if you're a road team,
just didn't have enough to come back.
And if you're a road team, Daryl, this is what, Jacksonville laid out the formula for everybody that's a road team coming into a hostile crowd like Hunt. Get out 14-0 at halftime, take the crowd out the game, and then just control it. Do your job.
And that's all you got to do is do your job. And that's what they was able to do.
Another team coming home from the Quad City Conference, they went down to Death Valley, and I said that they would win in Death Valley, but unfortunately they didn't. So I'm going to do this for the Knights right quick.
Uh-oh. What you got? What you got?
For the Knights right here.
Uh-oh. I think that's the Northern Nash. Yep, that's the Northern Nash jersey.
And we will be wearing this live on our next live show. I will be honoring my commitment that I told Northern Nash if Triple S didn't beat them, I'll wear the jersey. Our next live show, Northern, I'll have it on.
Right.
All right, Daryl. And that's pretty much everybody right there we got for Inventory Monday. We did have some teams to move on. Northern Nash moved on.
Yep.
Rosewood moved on. Yep. Tarboro moved on like always. Mm-hmm. Nash Central moved on.
Nash Central. Bulldogs found a way to win. And that's all you want to do in the playoffs is find a way to win.
That's all you want to do.
They're going to that third round, but they got a big challenge coming up. And we're going to be talking about that later in the show as well.
Very big challenge. Pam Packer Washington moved on, and that's all right here in our backyard, the people that moved on.
Yep.
Well, like always, Daryl.
We're going to go ahead and get started.
So like I always ask, who was the grit player of the week?
Well, my grit player of the week is coming out of actually the school we just mentioned, is Princeton. It's going to be Christian Pierce. He is a running back. He had over 186 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns against Kinston last week. And to me, when I saw him on film, he just, again, blew me off the water seeing him run. And he basically took Princeton over the top against Kinston last week. And so he gets my grind player of the week. So, Sean, who's that grit player of the week?
Well, the ground player of the week this week, somebody that grinded change for me, and it's not hard to find them, Daryl. All I did was just drive down 64, and I didn't stop until I got into a town called Tarboro. And right there in that town called Tarboro, you make a right. Once you get on 64, you stay straight on Main Street, and you go dead. If you keep straight through the line, you're in dead up on Tarboro Viking Field. And that's where I found number 24, Tobias Joyner, senior out of Tarboro. 5 carries, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, Tarboro's getting back to Tarboro football. That first loss of the season was a wake-up call. They're getting back to Tarboro football, ground and pound, and just running that clock. And this is what I saw when I watched him on Huddle and on Max Prep this week. He just, every time he touched the ball, he was grounded. Grounded and pounded.
All right, so that is our grind player of the week.
So now's going to be a question. Who was the grit team of the week?
My grit team of the week, honestly, I'm going to have to stick with Princeton. I was really impressed with Princeton and that offense that they got going on down there. And I mentioned this earlier, that it's going to be a tough challenge for Nash Central coming into this game.
They're going to be focused.
Yeah, they definitely going to have to be focused because Princeton's got 2 good running backs. And it's going to be a big challenge for Nash Central. But they're playing a team that is focused, is 100% locked in. So Nash Central has to be 100% locked in as well. But Princeton gets my grind team of the week. And Sean, who's that grit? They get my grit team of the week. And Sean, so who's that grind team of the week?
The grind team of the week no longer goes to the team who I jumped on their ship last week, right before we started the show, the Jacksonville Cardinals over there in Jacksonville High School. I mean, this is a team that they came into a very hostile stadium, Warrior Stadium, jam-packed stadium. Went back and watched that whole game in its entirety. Jam-packed stadium on the Warriors side. People all on the sideline. Hunt had not made it that far in the playoffs in years. And they came in, and even though Hunt was starting to rally, they did enough to leave out with a 1-point win. I mean, at the end of the day, a 1-point win, you know what it says in the Jacksonville column, don't you?
That's a W.
That's a W. Moving on to the next round. You know what it says in the Warriors column? That's an L hitting the Inventory Monday.
Inventory Monday. All right, Sean. I think it's that time to crank up the bus for the game of the week.
Well, let's crank up that bus, Daryl. We got a few stops we got to ride. So where you want to take that bus to first?
All right. So we got the game of the week is coming out of the team you just gave to as the grind team of the week, Jacksonville.
Yes, sir.
They're 9-2, and they're going into the third round playing Lee County. Yellow Jackets. They're 9-2.
They got a long ride on that bus because they got to leave I-40 and stay on I-40 till you find yourself somewhere in Sanford up there. That's a long ride for Jacksonville. Yep. The kids are glad about that because they probably get to leave school that day about 12, 1 o'clock.
About 12, 1 o'clock, yep. So that's going to be a big game. So Jacksonville beat Hunt 21-20 last week in the second round of the playoffs. And the key players for me that I saw in Jacksonville is their running back. They got a big offensive line.
Very big.
And they got four running backs rushing for over 400 yards for the season. You got Cortez Eccles, number 1, number 7, the quarterback, Josh Benton, number 30, Damian June, and number 40, Christian Constant. All of these guys got over 400 yards rushing, and that's going to be a big challenge for Lee County coming into this game.
Because, Lee County last week prepared for a Southern Ash team that they got to prepare in a week, and they saw that Southern was a ground and pound team. But Jacksonville can beat you in the air or on the ground. I mean, they had just as many passing yards as they did running yards last week against Hunt. I got my pick, Daryl.
All right, so we're going to have the picks at the end of the show, but yeah, I think I got my pick on this one.
You got your pick?
Yeah. All right, so that bus is going to go on further down, Sean. We got Northern Nash versus Scotland.
That's the game we go here in Nash County. I did some research. 11-1 Knights are facing the 7-4 Fighting Scots. I mean, no knock on Scotland. I'm going to give them a shout out right here. They beat the number 10 seed Southern Durham 35-13. Beat the number 7 seed West Carteret 41-21. But you feel like taking that ride to Death Valley. In the famous words of B.B. King, the thrill is gone. The thrill is going away.
Yeah, because Northern Nash is focused.
And they are locked in.
Yeah, they are locked in. They beat Triple S last week. Again, their key players, it goes back to what we've been saying all season for Nash Central. Starts with the quarterback, Jones.
Keno Jones.
He's got
We've been hollering his name all season.
Yeah, he's got over 1,600 yards passing. He's thrown for 17 touchdowns for the season. And then that running game, with R.J. Lauren, he was one of the grind players of the week for us this season.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, he was a grind player,
Yeah, and he had over 1,500 yards rushing so far this season. So with that combination of offense that we talked about earlier in the show, a balanced offense to where you can run the ball, but you also can throw that ball. And with Scotland coming in 7-4, it's going to be tough. They also have a good quarterback as well.
They do.
Carter Revel, he's thrown for 19 touchdowns for the season. And then their running back as well, he's got 16 touchdowns. R.J. Nicholson, he's rushed for 1,300 yards for the season. So you got 2 good teams, 2 good quarterbacks on each team. It's going to be a close game.
I don't think it's going to be close.
I'm seeing a close game. I think it's going to be close.
I can't make my pick yet because we're not making it yet.
And I'm gonna tell you why I think it's going to be close.
Why do you think it's going to be close?
Nash has not came up against a team that's got a quarterback that is just as good as their quarterback.
Not
In
at all.
their conference, they have not played another team that's got a good quarterback. And this is going to be a test for Northern Nash going into this game. And I think it's going to come down to quarterback play for me.
I think Northern Nash. I'm gonna tell you like this: I jumped off that. I jumped off that boat last week. I'm
Yeah.
back on the super side of the captain right now.
So you about to start the cap. Okay. All right. All right.
Well,
So,
we're gonna crank that bus up and go to now, Daryl.
all right. We're going down to Tarboro.
All right, let's go to Tarboro. I was there last night.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I stopped by Tarboro High last night, caught the end of the practice over there. And when it's getting around this time of the season, third round of the playoffs, they get past locked in focus. They only thing on their mind is state championship now.
State championship. And this is the time of the season for Tarboro. So who's Tarboro playing in the third round, Sean?
Tarboro is playing somebody right out of their conference, Permiquis. I can never say it. Permiquis County.
That's why I asked you to say it.
We're gonna just leave it like this. They playing the Pirates.
Yeah, they playing the Pirates.
Both of these teams have played each other. Tarboro beat them back on September 17th, 54-40. But one thing I saw out of all the games, this is the only team that Tarboro did not blow out. Besides losing the Rocky Mountain game. The only team they didn't blow out.
Yeah, because I know the Pirates, they played Riverside Martin last week. And they won 38-26 against them. And some of their key players was their quarterback, Hunter. He's thrown for over 1,100 yards. And then they got 4 players with over 500 yards rushing for the season. And again, their running back last week against Riverside, I don't know if I can pronounce his name right, Saquari Kersey, had over 200 yards rushing. So right situation, right play, you get a penalty here or there, Tarboro could be in a bind if they're not totally locked in, because the Pirates got good players on this team and they could actually win this game. But
and they can put up points.
Right.
They put up 40 on them last time. If you're Tarboro, it goes back to the grind player of the week, Tobias Jordan. Get the ball to the bread and butter and let them roll. And get the score up high and don't look back.
But the thing is, you got to jump on them early.
You do.
Cannot let them stay around. You cannot have a first quarter where you only scoring 7 points and let's just say it's 7-3. That's not going to be acceptable because
you got to be putting up 20
in that game.
You got to be putting up 21 in the first every quarter. To get them out of here quickly.
To get them out of here. All right, Sean. Let's see where the bus is taking us to now.
I think we got 2 more stops. We're gonna say that last stop.
We're gonna say last stop, but I think we're going down to Rosewood versus Northampton County.
That's it. They taking the ride up to Northampton, and this is a game right here that this is a good game to be locked in on. If you're not going out to be keeping the score on, because this is a toss-up game. I looked at both these teams on paper. Rosewood 6-2, the Eagles from the Carolina 1A Conference. Northampton Jaguars 9-2 for the Toronto Conference. I looked at both teams there, and if you take away the 6-2 and 9-2, these teams are as equal as you can get on paper. Line for line, everything is equal.
Everything is equal. Excuse me. Everything is equal with this team. With Rosewood, last week, like you said, they beat North Edgecombe 36-8.
Right.
And Northampton County beat Warren County 28-0.
And heard them.
You have players on both squads that is balling. Number 7, Kewan Pitts and Anthony Harding. Both of them are rushing for over 1,000 yards. Now you got 2 running backs getting close to over 1,000 yards rushing.
That's scary.
And then you got Rosewood that's got Torquez Butler. He's getting over 600 yards. And so you have a full team on both sides with good defenses that can actually stop the run, that play good, sound football. I mean, because they both played 2 teams where one team only scored 8 points and another one didn't even score at all. So to me, this is going to be a very good game to watch on Friday night.
Very good game to watch. This game's going to come to who makes the least mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah. Who makes the least mistakes? And
I got my pick on that one.
Yeah, we don't have
to. Get scared, Daryl.
I hear you. I hear you. All right, so the bus is gonna finish going. We got one more round to go on the bus.
Well, we're gonna jump on 95, and before we jump on 95, we got to get them ready.
We're
gonna start over there. I still consider, they say it's Rocky Mount, but I still consider it Nashville. We're gonna go to Dash Central and pick up the Bulldogs and Coach Lee and everybody. You know the next stop gonna be as we pick everybody up on the bus, Daryl.
What's that next stop?
Cafeteria.
Oh, there you go. I forgot about the cafeteria. What we getting from the cafeteria?
It's the third round of the playoffs, so the cafeteria ladies say, boys, we're going on the road. We're gonna feed you good this week.
What we getting?
We had peanut butter and jelly last week. You said get a little tight around there.
Yeah, get a little tight around there.
They're gonna feed us club sandwiches. We're gonna have ham and turkey sandwiches. For the third round, you eat good in the third round.
Eating a little healthy. Eating a little healthy on the bus.
Baked chips.
Okay.
And wash it down with a bottle of water, they say.
So water. H2O.
H2O quality.
Well, Nash Central will be going to play Princeton. Princeton is 11-0. The Bulldogs beat Kinston last week, 41-31.
The new 6 champions.
Yeah, and they're the champions. And for me, when I looked at that Princeton team, 2 things stood out, and that's their running game.
That's it.
They got 2 running backs, Brooks and Christian Pierce, who was our grit player of the week. These kids, Brooks alone has over 200,000 yards rushing for the season. And then Pierce, he's got 1,500 yards rushing. So just that
they found
alone,
the ball.
We have not seen any running back duo so far this season that has come close to these guys in rushing. So it tells me that they got a big offensive line that can open up some holes.
And turn them loose.
These running backs are getting loose and they're getting in the end zone. So when it's bad enough to have one that's at 2,000 yards for the season.
Well, we're
talking about 2. So Nash Central is going to definitely have to be locked in on defense in this game.
This is the battle of the Bulldogs right here. Bulldog versus Bulldog. Which one's going to come out as the victorious winner?
Yeah.
This is one of those games, we've been preaching this game since the playoffs started.
Yeah.
Win week 1 of the playoffs, Nash Central. Win week 2.
That's it.
Go to Princeton. Give yourself a chance.
You can just give yourself a chance. That's all you want.
The keys to victory for me are giving yourself a chance to walk out of Princeton with a win to be played in the next round is, number 1, keep the score low. Lock in. Do your job. Listen to Coach Lee. Listen to defensive coaches, everybody. Stay on your man. They're going to have to claw the hole, like you said. You got one running back over 2,000 yards, one knocking on the door 2,000 yards. Mm-hmm. The D-line is going to have to be attacking every play and not getting blown up.
Yeah, every play. And you got to play sound defense and not get frustrated because –
And that's what I was just about to say, because this is a team right here that I watched on tape, and they love – one thing I know is the more they run the ball, the more the team they're playing gets frustrated because they can't stop the run.
Right.
If they get a big run on you, that's just shake it off and get ready for the next play.
And just go to the next play because this is a powerful offense, and that is what they do. This is what they do. And you can't get frustrated. You just got to stick to your plan, execute it at the best of your ability, and again, give yourself an opportunity, give yourself a chance.
That's it.
In this game. And that's all you want. And and like you said, Sean, if they could keep it close, you have a good chance going into that 4th quarter.
And coming out with a win.
But you got to start focus from the 1st quarter all the way through.
This is one of those bus rides. If you Nash Central, I know you're excited because you're in the 3rd round. It's been a long time since they've been in the 3rd round.
Yeah, been a long time.
This is one of those bus rides that as soon as you leave the cafeteria at lunch, you get on that bus and you start right on that trip. You lock yourself in, you're getting focused.
Yeah, you got to get focused.
Get yourself football ready on that bus. So when you get off that bus, it's time to take care of business.
Time to take care of business.
Well, Derek, I let everybody know another spoiler for us.
Go ahead.
Where we gonna be at Friday night, Daryl?
I think we might be traveling down to Princeton Friday night.
I believe we're gonna be on the bus now, sir. We might be on the bus eating a sandwich with you.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely be there in Northern Nash. We're definitely coming to one of your. If y'all win this week, we'll be definitely coming through Death Valley to see you guys in the fourth round. In the fourth round, if you guys win, because we owe y'all a game. So we'll definitely be there. But we definitely got to go to prison because we told Nash, sir, if you got this game, we will be there. So we told them we won. We're gonna honor our word. We will be there.
Show up. We got to show up.
Yeah, the kids Sean,
before we get out of here. Before we get out of here, let's go over the picks and give our picks. So let's go with Northern Nash versus Scotland.
I tell you, I'm back on. I'm sitting beside the captain. Welcome back, Sean team, to the team of the Knights. I'm back.
It's hard for me to do this, but I'm gonna go Northern Nash. But again, I think it's gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna be closer than what people think. But
Northern Nash by 2 touchdowns. Let's go, Knights. I'm back.
All right, so we got Jacksonville 9-2 versus Lee County 9-3.
That's gonna be a good game. That's a good game.
That's gonna be a real good game.
If we wasn't in that Central, I'd be on my way to Sanford Friday night.
I think we'll be there.
I'm going Jacksonville, man. I'm still impressed. I'm impressed with them.
Okay. I'm going Lee County. I think Lee County is gonna show up, and I think that quarterback. I think he didn't have his best game against Southern Nash, but I think between Will Patterson and then their running back BJ Brown, I think that's going to be a little bit too much for Jacksonville. So I'm going Lee County. I'm
going to make a spoiler right here, Darryl, before we move to this game. Jacksonville wins this game, goes to East Alamance, beats them next week.
Ooh.
I'm already letting you know my pick for this week. Who we got next?
All right, next game we got is Tarboro versus the Pirates.
We don't got to spend that much time on that. 1, 2, 3. Tarboro will win this one. Next.
Right. Again, I'm going to say it again. Tarboro better jump on them soon, early in the first quarter. It can't be no 7-3 at the end of the first quarter. It's got to be 17, 14 points, something like that Tarboro's up going into the second quarter, because if not, the Pirates are going to be getting their confidence up and they may be able to steal a win.
Right there, Viking Stadium.
Locked in. And our last game, Sean, is, 2 more games. 2 more. We got Rosewood versus Northampton.
I told you, this is a good game. Good game. I'm taking the Jaguars Northampton. I'm sticking with them. Yeah. I want to go with Rosewood, but I think they could just pull this one off.
Yeah, I'm going Northampton County as well on this one.
And Northampton's hosting that game, so that's going to give them extra momentum.
Yeah, I think so too. And our last game is going to be Princeton versus Nash Central. You know where my heart is at, Sean. You've been talking to these kids all season.
Since you told them burn that tape.
Your job, don't worry about the tape, burn that tape.
You've been talking with since day one.
We just been telling them, listen to your coaches. So I think they have to stay on this bandwagon.
I think they made you an honorary coach over there at Nash Central.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to stay on. I'm gonna go Nash Central on this. But again, Nash Central, don't get frustrated. Just do one play at a time and give yourself a chance. And I think you could come out and win this game.
You come out and win it. Princess had a pretty decent schedule to be undefeated. I can't call that schedule like I do other teams. It's been pretty decent. Some of the teams in the New Six weren't good, but some non-conference games they played were good. I'm going to stick with Nash Central, man. I just think that they got something special over there this year.
Yeah.
I think that Coach Lee can call up enough plays where the kids can go in, keep the game close. And, I mean, we seen them down 14 points to come back and win by 1.
They can do it.
I think they got something special over there at Nash Central this year, and I think they're going to go to Princeton. They're going to stun everybody and come out with a win.
All right, Sean.
Well, that's it right there. We want to thank everybody for turning to the Grit and Grind Sports Podcast, the show right here. Like always, Daryl, do you have the grit?
And do you have the grind?
And we'll see you next week on the Grit and Grind Sports Podcast.